Welcome to Learn Tech Today English. Learn today, understand better, and succeed tomorrow.
Picture this. You're trying to run a heavy, high-performance app on your smartphone, but there's this hidden background process that just keeps spamming you with useless notifications, draining your battery to absolute zero. Well, that relentless background app is exactly what your endless mental chatter is doing to your daily focus. Welcome to Learn Tech Today English. Today, we're breaking down a really powerful mental software update to quiet those restless thoughts using practical techniques from the world of real intelligence. If dealing with endless mental chatter sounds impossible right now, trust me, it's going to become crystal clear by the end of this explainer. So think about this for a second. Is a hidden background app draining your mental battery to zero right now? I mean, we relentlessly optimize our digital devices for maximum efficiency, right? But we rarely, if ever, take the time to optimize our own minds. We leave this incredibly complex, subtle organ constantly switched on, just chattering away, projecting fears, and demanding instant gratification. It's like the one background process we never seem to force quit. And there's a massive gap in our approach here. Think about our beautifully sleek, optimized digital devices running at absolute peak performance. Now compare that to our unregulated human minds, completely bogged down with constant chatter and projected fears. Why does this update actually matter? Because an uncontrollable, chattering mind absolutely destroys your daily focus and ruins your productivity. Unless we actively upgrade our mental operating system, our own mind literally becomes our greatest enemy. All right, so let's look at the source code for this update. This brilliant framework comes to us from monk and author Gaur Gopal Das. As an absolute expert in what we can call real intelligence, he provides this incredibly structured framework for managing those continuous internal pop-ups that are always distracting us from our real goals. Okay, let's dive into this. To explain the system overload, Das uses this fantastic story-based breakdown. He basically compares the restless mind to a super mischievous, highly chaotic toddler named Joshua. Having your brain on constant chatter is exactly like having a toddler throwing a wild tantrum right in the middle of your head, just pulling your attention in a million different directions all at once. To really drive this home, Das tells a story about little Joshua running away in a crowded airport terminal simply to get attention, which obviously causes complete panic and chaos for his parents. As Das perfectly puts it, every one of us has a Joshua that we have to manage 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your mind behaves in exactly the same restless, unpredictable way as that kid sprinting through the terminal. And, here's the harsh reality of our situation. Error, you cannot delete a toddler. Just like you can't hit a delete key on a misbehaving child, you absolutely cannot delete your mind. You can't uninstall it, you can't trade it in for a newer model. Instead, we have to learn exactly how to manage its daily tantrums using some highly specific, practical tactics. So, here is the mental software patch you've been waiting for. We're going to install a 4-step actionable framework. Neglect, note, negotiate, and observe. You can think of these 4 tactics as the literal patch notes you need to manage those mental tantrums. This is how you finally regain your bandwidth and optimize your focus. Let's kick things off with patch number 1, smart spam filtering, which is essentially the art of neglect. Think about it. If a toddler throws a completely fake tantrum and you react to it, what happens? You accidentally reinforce their bad behavior. The child learns that acting out equals getting the attention they crave. Well, your mind does the exact same thing when it throws a random anxious thought at you, just to see if you'll engage with it. So the crucial point is how you respond to all that noise. It all comes down to the difference between reacting, which reinforces those mental tantrums, and neglecting, which acts as a smart spam filter. By actively choosing to neglect the meaningless chatter and consciously shifting your focus to something energizing like your breathing or a really engaging task, you break the cycle. You are literally starving that meaningless chatter of the attention it desperately wants. Moving right along to patch 2, data logging, or as we like to call it, noting it down. Have you ever tried to put your mind on silent mode so you can finally catch some sleep or do some deep work, only to get spammed with thoughts that sound incredibly urgent? Your mind, much like any person you interact with, just wants to feel acknowledged. And here is the data logging protocol to handle exactly that scenario. Keep a physical notepad right nearby. When that super persistent thought pops up, physically write it down. By doing this, you're giving your mind that tiny, minute attention it craves, allowing it to finally calm down so you can sleep or work. Then, you simply review the log the next morning to see if it was a real emergency or, just another fake mental tantrum. Okay, patch number 3 is the reward algorithm, which basically means you need to negotiate. See, our minds are completely obsessed with the future, and they constantly demand immediate rewards right now. Because you can't forcefully shut the mind down, you've got to strike a deal with it. You have to negotiate terms that work for both your long-term goals and your brain's deep desire for pleasure. Let's look at how this focus now, play later contract actually works. Let's say you really need to study or do some intense deep work. You essentially promise your brain one episode of a favorite TV show in exchange for 2 hours of deep, uninterrupted focus. By guaranteeing an immediate, tangible reward the second you finish, you ensure your brain's full, undivided cooperation. But listen closely here, because there are strict limitations to this negotiation algorithm. The math absolutely must always favor your end goal, or the entire system crashes. Think about it. You can't restrict yourself on a super strict diet for 6 days only to reward yourself by eating an entire day's worth of cake. A single slice of cake, that's a good negotiation. The whole cake, that crashes your system. The balance always has to favor your primary objective. And finally, we arrive at patch 4, the observer mode. Every single day, we need a daily reboot. We need to take a 5-minute break from our constant state of doing and simply enter a peaceful state of being. This is the practice of neutral observation, where you physically and mentally slow down. Here is exactly how you boot up observer mode. Close your eyes. Just focus on your breath. Neutrally observe all the thoughts that are coming in. Treat them like passing data streams. Let them come and go without reacting, without judging, and without dwelling on them. If you find yourself getting wrapped up or distracted, just consciously, gently return your focus to your breathing. You're just watching the data flow by. Now, I do want to be clear, upgrading your emotional hardware isn't some instant, over-the-air download. It requires something called conscious competence. That means mastering these 4 techniques is going to take deliberate, hard work at first. You have to actively and consciously apply them until they eventually become a totally automatic, healthy habit for your brain. It takes time to turn that restless distraction into your ultimate productivity partner. System reboot complete. Let's do a really quick, rapid-fire recap of this crucial mental update so we can silence that chatter once and for all. Neglect, ignore the fake mental tantrums by shifting your focus. Note, log those persistent thoughts so you can acknowledge them and silence your mind. Negotiate. Create a compromise to guarantee your mind's cooperation. And observe, neutrally watch your thoughts come and go without reacting at all. Tame the toddler in your mind and unlock your true potential. Guys, you literally do not have to be a victim to your own restless thoughts. By mastering these exact techniques today, you are fundamentally upgrading your emotional hardware. You're going to regain your mental bandwidth, massively reduce your daily anxiety, and train your brain to delay gratification for some incredible long-term success. So, my final question for you is this. Are you going to install this mental update today, or are you just going to let that background chatter drain your battery to absolute zero? Thank you so much for watching. If you found this mental software update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Learn Tech Today English. And definitely hit that bell icon so you never miss our latest AI and tech updates. See you in the next explainer.